That 6 July statements, to this day, there's no one who's been able to disprove anything. This is that the only pillow talk is gossip. The only gossip she talks about is leaks. The only person who's getting leaks is Mkhwanazi. Where is Mkhwanazi getting leaks from? From inside IDAC. What type of relationship would he have with someone inside IDAC for him to be getting leaks? A very close relationship. So IDAC head is saying, this guy's got a close relationship with someone inside my department. It must be a woman. And this relationship now she's alleging is pillow talk. So that's how pillow talk is getting evidence to Mkhwanazi. Mkhwanazi is getting evidence through pillow talk. So she's basically saying, Mkhwanazi, protect your girlfriend. Because if she keeps telling you the things she's telling you, I'm going to get rid of her. Money is like sex. You understand? A woman doesn't give you sex because umshele with whatever the best poems that she's ever heard in her life or whatever, you've got the best game. No, it's because she likes you.
So it's people working towards
He's anointed, right? But he was also appointed. There's a reason why everything he did it in record time. He was the youngest guy to be propelled here. He was showing his level of competence at a very young age as a natural. Do you understand what I'm saying?
The word competence now you have not only used against, like you have not only used in describing Khumalo, you used that very same word in describing Mkhwanazi.
I think Mkhwanazi was a fan of Batman. He knows what the police commissioner's job is, and he knows that Harvey Dent, you know what I mean? He's very competent, very highly competent, much more competent than Mkhwanazi. In fact, Mkhwanazi is one of the least competent out of all those guys. You must remember that after that whole entire period, it took only 2 years for Mkhwanazi to be identified as someone who's possible. He was highly recommended. He was headhunted. That's the level of confidence. All their confidence comes from their competence. You know what I mean? Their competence in certain fields. Like I said, Khumalo, in his level of competency, he's got full competency. Mkhwanazi doesn't have the same capabilities that Khumalo has. But he's got full competency where he does have his capabilities.
Okay.
He came back to the police force as a police minister. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Someone who's got institutional knowledge, operational knowledge, when they come back, they can only come back to do what? Why does a criminal come back to the scene of the crime?
Shaka Ilembe is owned by this company, right?
Canal Plus.
Then Isuzo Samazulu defeated the person who was supposed to
Napoleon
succeed.
Bonaparte,
Yes.
Mm.
You think that's a sellout move?
The Zulus won the battle. They lost the war because their culture is now being appropriated.
How so?
They
Please
killed
explain.
the French Empire, so they helped the English. Because now the English didn't have their French Empire as a rival anymore. And that's how the English then dominated the world. The Zulus eliminated the French's biggest enemy. The Dutch were eliminated by themselves. Their economy crashed.
Okay.
So they ceased to be a power. You know what I mean? In
Yes.
the early 1800s. Right? By 1807, the British had taken over the Cape. Right? By 1834, the Dutch settlers were now moving and trekking upwards north. This is prior to the time where they could now fully come into contact with the lands that were controlled by the Zulus, right? The French were also now coming in. They were trying to stake their claim, trying to see if there's an opportunity there. The land was unclaimed. The British had not claimed it. The French sent their first prospectors and they were killed by the Zulus. And then that was the end of the French's now effort in South Africa. They ended that, and then they eliminated their rival for the British. The British take the land, and then after they claim the land and all this, they then take the rand. Once they take the rand or the reef, they got the gold. The gold gives them the richest colony they've ever had. That gold funds the expansion of the British Empire all over the world.
Okay. So
And-
you are now saying
Yeah.
the content creators, they are now helping to somehow tell a story about their very own culture.
They're using their culture to tell a unique story. They're trading the value of their culture by using it and then getting paid for it.
tell me something. How do you think? Okay, let's use. We're gonna use.
But they own the value extraction of it. Yes, okay, fine. They're getting paid a little bit off of YouTube. But now, let's say Chicken Licken now wants to use you in an advert. You can charge them a couple million. Why? Because you got a couple million subscribers on your YouTube. Before, you couldn't charge them a couple million. You understand what I'm
saying? Okay.
They're able to use your culture to create
if I understand you very well. The name of the guy who owns that production is Mtanden, the writer of this whole thing. Some of them, main episodes. I'm talking about Udlamini Star.
Oh, yeah.
I think the guy's name is Mtanden. Yes, MDN. Mtanden. Okay, but it's fine. So what they've created, they are telling a story of people, Zulu to be specific, living in a shack. Moving from the
living
shack.
In the shacks, yes.
Yeah, moving from there, coming to Soweto. Yeah, but they are telling it from a Zulu perspective.
Yes.
And then they go to Soweto. They still arrive in Soweto with the same mindset, trying to behave the same way they're behaving in KZN.
It's Zulus and Pedis are the same. Always. They never adapt.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, they never assimilate.
What's the difference between adapting and assimilation?
To assimilate is now I become part of your culture. Like I see how you guys do things and then I assimilate. You know what I mean? I start wearing weaves, sing by India and so that in Konuk Sebans and Namandi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
when you work at Hewlett
or
Ilovo, when you want to work in the high offices, and you don't want to be the one who's cleaning.
Yes.
Melukumuli dog ufage inwele zamandi. So that uzofana no padiach.
Okay.
Obey manager now.
Okay. In all of this, what I'm hearing is that these guys on YouTube, they've created this brand that if KFC, Chicken Licken, whosoever wants to tell that story through their ads, they can simply watch a YouTube video and be like, these are the people that we want.
And let's feature them, and let's pay them a lot. Look at Tyson.
Okay.
Tyson, how many Chicken Licken ads has he done? That guy was making videos.
Yes.
Yeah, with his English accent or American accent. He's done another Chicken Licken ad now.
Tyson is the guy who is in the wilderness somewhere.
The guy with the big afro.
Yes,
that guy. He did the Chicken Licken ad, remember? He started as a social media star. What about that other girl?
Yes.
She was in the Telkom ad. She was also paid like quite a lot of money for just to say Elan. She became a viral sensation.
Okay, speaking about this, I'm gonna look. I'm gonna ask you questions about branding. We'll get there soon. So in KZN again, there's a guy who's trying to tell a story of ex-convict. In fact, but he's following them inside prison. His name is what? I forgot the name.
How can you follow ex-convicts inside prison? Are they back in prison?
He's telling you a story of people inside prison. He's a comedian.
Okay.
And I forgot the name of this guy. Sorry if I forgot. But he does something called Ijele, right? It's showing you the AMA 28 versus AMA 26. So he's doing something along those lines, right? The way he does it, you are saying if he is strategic about his move, he will find himself somewhere owning a stake somewhere. Because that's what I'm hearing.
He can leverage it.
How so? That's the point. That's the question.
He can use his brand. He can leverage it. He can use his brand and trade it. Like, let's say there's this company, Pay Me Now.
This guy's name.
There's this company, Pay Me Now, right?
Okay.
So they were looking for venture capitalist funding. So they got Brian Habana to come on as an early investor. They gave him some shares, right?
I know the name. Sorry, I want to correct this name.
Yeah.
I know the guy's name is Tando Comedian.
Yeah.
Sorry,
so Brian Habana went around the world, you know what I mean? Because he's a famous rugby player. He scored the record most amount of tries in a World Cup or something like that, you know what I mean? And they went around the world and they got funders from around the world to put in quite a bit of money. They got some money from South Africa, a couple 100 million rands, a couple, tens of millions of dollars as well, funding. And now they've got 600,000 customers that use this Pay Me Now service. like 600,000 employees that use this employees that use this Pay Me Now service, and it's a big thing, and it's got leverage. And what did he do? He traded the preparation that he put into becoming an excellent rugby player, so now he could become famous, and because he was famous, he could be attached to brands. You know what I mean? And and that's why he was able to attract investors. Because he was able to attract investors in a successful product, those investors were able to earn greater revenue, and the shares that he got were able to appreciate in value, and that's how he's getting super rich right now. So you can do the same thing as a content creator. You know what I mean? You can bring so much brand value, and then you can trade. You know what I mean? Money you would be getting for equity in things that are supposed to be growing and developing. And therefore, you don't now need to put additional effort into growing that equity. The business does the work for you.
Wait. You know what you have just explained now? It's branding. It's quite interesting because I was going to ask you more questions about branding. But you've already done the work there.
So
he rebranded himself outside of rugby. He went into the business world.
Yeah.
Oh, but one will say it's so super difficult to sell yourself. So if I am looking for somebody that is
sold his excellence. He's an excellent rugby player. So he'd already done the preparation. He's done all of that. He put in the work to be an excellent rugby player. Now it's just about being likable. Now that's how you build your character over time. He's an excellent rugby player, so people know he's got name brand recognition, and he's a likable guy, so people with money will want to give him money because he's likable. That's it. They give you money because they like you. Yeah, not because you got a brilliant idea.
We'll come back to this one. People give me money. People give you money because they like you. I want to ask you.
Okay.
Now,
money is like sex. You understand? A woman doesn't give you sex because umshele with whatever the best poems that she's ever heard in her life or whatever, you've got the best game. No, it's because she likes you. That's it. Simple. Why? Because you'll see Ipar Nje, who will not say even one word, and he'll get the girl that you thought you wanted. You understand? And you're like, how did this guy get this girl? The girl wanted that guy. That's it. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes you're like, why do these people give business to this guy? Like, he's not, they like that guy. That's it. It's that simple.
Hey, Kala umuntu semuva.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Stella. Yeah. Okay.
That's why you need to grow up with your friends and your homies, because you learn these things as you grow up. Sometimes you go around and you see with your homies, maybe your squad of 4 or 5, you'll get a couple girls around and you'll see that out of us as guys, there's this one guy who gets most of the girls. The girls like this guy the most. You understand? First, you'll be like, you'll try to compete, then you realize that, nah, they just like him for whatever it is, right? But it's not like you don't get any girls. There's a certain type that likes you. You understand what I'm saying? Then you start saying, okay, no, maybe I've got my type, he's got his type, and we're all different. And you know what I mean? He's got what likes him, he's got what likes him. You know what I mean? We're different. And you don't need to be jealous of each other. So that's when you start to learn these things, just in small, simple settings. You don't need to be in business or be making money to learn these things. You learn them playing as a kid. You know what I mean? So now when you grow up, you understand that, no, there's certain people that gravitate towards me. There's certain people that gravitate towards other people. I need to seek out the people that like me, that, want to favor me. And I work with those people because those people are more likely to, support my initiatives. The people that don't necessarily like me, I don't need to be spending time on that, because why? Because they already don't like me. So now I'm swimming against the stream.
Okay, Nota. Wait. Why do people like you? The ones that likes you. Why do they like you?
Why do they like me?
Yes.
The ones that like me. I don't know. The people that know of me or the people that know me.
I don't know. I'm talking about people who likes you.
Yeah, the people
why
that like
do
me.
they like you?
Because I'm a genuine person. That's it. Just a genuine person.
Okay, let me tell you what.
Why?
When I'm not telling you the why, but I'm going to tell you what I saw. So I posted your episode, and some people never thought they would tell me anything. They were like, this episode, I may not have watched others, but this one, I'm going to watch this one. Like it or not, and I will make sure that I watch until the end. So I was trying to figure out why. Why, when it comes to Nota, people will react the way they react. We'll talk more. This conversation is centered around branding. Now, I'm going to take you back. How I got to know Nota, it was because of your relationship breakup with the likes of Abu Questa, Abu Makwa. I remember the first specific episode that I watched, video, not episode, a video that I watched. I think Makwa used to live around somewhere, Rosebank, if I'm not mistaken. You had came to Makwa's place. I think was it the time when he was still Springview?
He was in Springview. He'd moved to Springview, yes.
At the time?
Yeah.
Okay. But then you had
He moved from Highlands North and he went to go stay in Springview.
At the time, you had came to his place. There was a bit of an argument. That's how I was introduced.
Yeah, he was
to
talking.
Nota.
He was telling people. He was on social media saying, "I owe him monies," and I was like, "I don't owe you money. I've never owed you a cent." You know what I mean? There's no reason why I would owe you money or anything. You know what I mean? And like you've got the internet, you can show people, show them what document says I owe you money, or for what, or where I took your money and everything else.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that was just after he had a baby. You know what I mean? He got a girl pregnant and he didn't have enough money to do what he needed to do. And then, I gave him 60,000 rand so that he can at least take his soon-to-be baby mama to a nice private hospital.
Okay. But then your choice of approach then, why that approach? Because one would have said...
I'm paying so that your baby can be born. And then you're going to go on social media and talk nonsense about you.
Okay.
You understand? Like, come on. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And you're putting dirt on my name, and all I've done is to help you. You slept at my house, you used to eat my mother's cooking. I've never tasted your mother's food. Your mother's never done anything for me.
Okay.
Not even bought me underpants on Father's Day. But I raised you. You understand what I'm saying? Something your own father couldn't do. For both of them, it goes for both of them. Both of them know that I've done for them what their fathers never did. Whether they're dead or alive, their fathers never did them. I made them men. People that people can look at and say, oh, this is a person.
Okay.
That their children can look up at and say, oh, this is Papa. This is a decent person. It's not a useless person. It's Dagwa that's sleeping on the floors or whatever. You know what I mean? I made them decent people. Things that their parents couldn't do. Imagine doing things for people that their parents can't do. They're not even someone that loves them, not even a family member, not even a cousin, an uncle, nothing. And then they put dirt on your name. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's very disappointing. Not only that, they put dirt on my name and then they try to mess up my business. Like my business is a record label. Let's say you run a record label, you've got partners or whatever. If your artist at any point in time can tell your partners that, no, this guy is screwing me over, he's not paying me my money, they can pause that money. And then nobody gets paid until everybody's happy. And the artist knows that, oh, you're a record label. You don't perform, you don't gig, you don't do brand deals, you don't do billboards and everything else. So you can't take this pain. This will kill your business for you not getting this money because this is, as a record label, that's your only source of income. They know that they've got the money from the management side, from their booking agents and everything else. So they'll try to do that to try and punish you. They'll shoot themselves in the foot just to punish you. You know what I mean? They'll walk around with 4 toes or 9 toes just to punish you. You know what I mean? So those are the things that you deal with. You know what I mean? And you just have to be grateful that you're not in the taxi industry because these things, like, they've got lots of value. Lots of value. You know what I mean? We're talking like millions of rands of money that has been stopped. You know what I mean? Just by the little antics that they're doing. Those little antics that you're talking about,
yes,
they've cost me millions of rands. You understand what I'm saying? Millions of rands is a lot of money until your dad gets cancer and he has to go through chemo and it costs you 800,000 rands a year. Then R1 million doesn't seem like a lot of money anymore because that's how quickly it can finish. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Then you have to think that, damn it, people have got families, their parents get old and all those types of things. If it costs R1 million a year just to look after your parents' upkeep, what happens the day that you don't have those millions of rands? Or someone is holding them up or they're somewhere. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I say you're lucky that you're not in the taxi business because then people will start counting how many quantums that is. And then a taxi owner thinks, this person is cost me 5, 6, 7, 8 quantums.
Oh, I see now what you're saying when you say you're lucky you are not in the tech industry, because then if ever you disturb even one of my quantum, they call it umsebenzi. We need to sort out once they start talking about
Once you mess up the quantums, then you start dealing with the padcos.
Once they start that language of and there's money collection there, you know somebody, somebody's wife or mom is about to cry.
So mina, all I did is come to the fridge and chithi izinto. Akubhakanga amaphadco ngaphandle. Kodwa amakhonta amawile.
I see what you're saying. Erenkini hayi kulungisa umsebenzi manje khona uzokhala emva kwalapha.
So some of us, Tina, we take our time. We give you all the rope to hang yourself. You understand what I'm saying? And the rope is looking. Why? The rope is looking because it's like, damn it. Everything that man gave you, you guys still have. And yet you're unable to do anything of material benefit with that.
Okay. I did not intend to get into this one. I'll tell you why. Because I know, look, for instance, I know Makwa's mom, Sis Lady. I know her very well. She has groomed me in religion, religiously back in the days before Makwa entered the music industry. So I know her very well. And I said, so I did not intend to get it. But let me ask maybe one or two things about it. Have you guys reconciled?
No, there's no ways. There's no ways. There's no way you can reconcile. Like I'm telling you that amakwanta mayawa. You understand?
Yes.
Yafiwe renkini. Isn't that slangan? And why? All driver are busy using our taxis and driving other routes, other people's routes. They're collecting for other associations with our taxis.
Okay. Figurative speech.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're just lucky that they've got long enough rope to hang themselves. Because that's the only rope that hangs themselves. You can't drive someone else's taxi. There was a story the other day, I saw it on YouTube. There's a taxi that was stolen 15 years ago. And they just found it now. By me, Saliotics. But sorry guys, this taxi was stolen and reported stolen 15 years ago. Everybody out the taxi. Yeah. And they by Tata. They takes. You understand what I'm saying?
You know what happened in that case? Wait. Guys, do you know what happened in that case? If it can be proven that Bongan stole this phone 3 years ago and used this phone to make money, 3 years later, this phone helped Bongan to generate R1 million profit. Everything that was generated through this thing is a process of crime. Therefore, they will take the phone and the process of crime accumulated using this phone can be taken. Imagine by then.
Forget the money being taken. The judge now says you've done fraud of how much? The higher the proceeds. It's yes. You know, just the other day I was thinking it was the 7th of November. That was the 7th of November. That was the day I started serving my 60-day sentence. I only spent 18 days in prison. But in that prison cell for 18 days, I realized that, freedom is priceless. You understand? Because you can be in jail and have everything. I had everything. I had Jacob's tea. If I wanted, I'd eat some more biscuits. If I wanted, I had everything. I had enough to have everything in there. But I didn't have freedom. It's a lot.
I see what you're saying.
So that's the thing, is that you need to be like Khumalo, meticulous, collect. So that when they say, they'll say, where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? Where's the tool? Until the time where it's time to present the evidence. When you present the evidence, it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. They can try whatever they can try. IDAC, Afigizo, explain, I got to. That 6 July statements, to this day, there's no one who's been able to disprove anything. How long has it been? We are in November now. You understand? So we had August, September, October, November.
6 July remain a day that nobody will forget.
Angeke ususe.
Nobody will forget. 6 July was well calculated, and the person that was used to speak on the podium on the day was well chosen.
Yeah.
It was a
perfect guy
candidate for the job to represent the people behind the scenes. Everything that he said it very much calculated, and he knew what he was doing with each and every single word.
How can you read so? Pella, how long has it taken for us to go through everything he just said in that 6 July? He said it simply, summarize yonke. It's such a big mess. People are explaining for days and days and days and days, 3 days each. When you get your 3 days? Also 3 days. When Andrea Johnson, because after 6 July, she saw that I'm being buried here. Let me at least try to defend myself. She made it worse.
Shame.
She made it worse.
She failed. There are things that woman said. I even get a call.
The thing is that you know what she said that made me worry, because it was the same pattern again. It was the same thing that I saw when Peggy Cele spoke at Anile Tembe's funeral.
Okay.
It was a direct death threat made in public. And I thought, how can this man at a funeral make a death threat? Andrea Johnson said, pillow talk gets you killed. Who is pillow talking? Because she says she's not pillow talking. She hasn't talked with her husband. Right? And she's alive. Right? So she can't be talking about herself. She can't be saying
because
that
she's still alive.
Yeah, because the death threat that she has doesn't come from pillow talk.
Wait, in this case, what you are saying, to analyze exactly what you are saying, the husband is alive. Separate her husband from her. She's still alive. People that could do pillow talk, both of them are still alive. Therefore, who are you talking about?
How can pillow talk
experienced
pillow talk getting someone killed?
You have not experienced it. So who are you talking about then?
You're talking about someone else. So the thing is that the only pillow talk is gossip. The only gossip she talks about is leaks. The only person who's getting leaks is Mkhwanazi. Where is Mkhwanazi getting leaks from? From inside IDAC. What type of relationship would he have with someone inside IDAC for him to be getting leaks? A very close relationship. So IDAC head is saying, this guy's got a close relationship with someone inside my department. It must be a woman. And this relationship now she's alleging is pillow talk. So that's how pillow talk is getting evidence to Mkhwanazi. Mkhwanazi is getting evidence through pillow talk. So she's basically saying, Mkhwanazi, protect your girlfriend. Because if she keeps telling you the things she's telling you, I'm going to get rid of her. In parliament, in this country, Abasabi, like Abasbon. No. We are nothing in this country. How, I'm like, South Africans, are you guys listening to what this woman is saying? Forget Peggy Cele and him wanting to interfere with the Anele Tembe thing by asking for private prosecution, even though he's the Minister of Police, knowing that is interfering in operational police work. Not only operational police work, in operational NPA work. So you're in another ministry already. You're supposed to be talking to the Justice Minister. Why are you telling the President that you want to pursue private prosecution? Why are you not speaking to your colleague in Cabinet, the Justice Minister?
You know what you're saying? When you say you want
that's interference.
Besides, leave the interference.
Your dereliction of duty. You're saying that the police are unable to.
No. Yeah. That's exactly where I was going. You are simply saying, you are telling us that your sister department, NPA, is incapable of executing this job.
No, you are saying that they are going to give you a nolle prosecute form because that's what you need to get.
But
from them, to pursue private prosecution, you need to get nolle prosecute from them.
I get it, but if I don't trust you, but you hold a key position to prosecute the people that I want you to prosecute, despite the fact that I'm going to get the form from you, what I'm simply saying is that you are untrustable. Yes, you can give me the form, but you are untrustable, so I don't trust you. And you are in that system. My question is, why are you not fixing it? Because you can make a call to the president and say, here are the corruptions committed by these people in this department. What are you saying about that department that we are not reading?
And these allegations that you're making, why are the people that you're saying are making them not making them themselves? You said the police were convinced. Which police? Captain who? Detective? Lieutenant General? Brigadier? Who? You understand what I'm saying? Those are captains. Captains. You know, when they get wings, that's at the rank of captain. You understand what I'm saying? So those are captains that you're talking about. So you're saying that these captains are saying, yes, we've got this much evidence, whatever, foul play, whatever. They send it to the Western Cape head of the NPA of the Western Cape. The NPA head of the Western Cape says, no, there's not enough evidence here for a charge. But there's no paper trail of this that you're claiming. There's no police officer that's willing to say this on record or anything else. I mean, there's already another murder of this person that you're saying is a suspect in this murder that you're alleging, right? Why are we not investigating why he was murdered? Because if there's an issue here and you're saying that there might be lead to a motive for his murder, because you were unable to secure a prosecution, you decided to murder the guy, right? It's not a strong allegation, it's the logic. You are unable to secure a prosecution with all the means and resources. You've got a friend who's a minister of police, who's a cabinet minister, who can speak to the justice minister, who can speak to people in the security cluster, which is under the presidency. You understand what I'm saying? You've got a direct line to the president. You can make sure that something is done here, and you fail to do so. That would be a reason, because all other ails. Because if I've got all the money in the world, I've got all the resources in the world, you killed someone that's in my family, I can get justice for that. I can get you arrested.
But then, hey, Nota, I hear what you're saying, but hey, when the papers now comes, they will be like, now bangane bokon. Hambane podcast.
No. It's not criminal injuria. It's in public now, so we can speculate. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
He went and spoke in public, in parliament. And that's our parliament at the end of the day. Yes, that water that he's drinking, we pay for it. Okay. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So those are the things that you need to ask yourself, like, all of these questions. You know what I mean? All of these questions. Okay, you are getting information out of Ket Matlala. You're getting information out of Ket Matlala. Why? Because you knew Ket Matlala was setting up Senzo Mchunu to do crime. You were giving Senzo Mchunu enough rope to hang himself. And he fell for the trap. You knew that Ket Matlala is a criminal from the beginning. But you didn't want to do anything criminal with him. It's not criminal to sleep in his hotel room. You know that. You're a smart guy. You understand what I'm saying? But you know who's not smart? Senzo Mchunu. So what? You know Senzo Mchunu is going to do business with this guy. And then when did Senzo Mchunu decide, hey, get this guy arrested? When he realized that, damn it, this guy is in business with Biggie. Biggie Cele is involved in all of this whole entire time. That's my enemy. I've set myself up. Damn it. It's too late to Tlima. You Tlimaed so much, you even had your wife's boyfriend arrested. And say that he stole your wife's identity theft. But we know that there's telephone records that date back long back. They've had a long relationship, that Nigerian, that is being refused bail for such a simple thing. Meanwhile, Abu KT Mulefe are being given bail for serious things. For identity theft and then a SIM swap crime. The guy is stuck in Westville prison right now.
Who's the guy you're talking about?
The guy who stole Senzo Tandega, was it Tobega? Tandega Mchunu.
His identity.
Yes.
It's my first time hearing about that story. But yeah.
No, you've heard about it. You've heard about it. It just didn't seem like a big deal. Until you realize he was Nigerian. And you think Cheryl Twede, another minister's wife, that was connected with a Nigerian. She's in prison right now, isn't she?
Why are these stories going under my radar, but I don't get to interrogate them?
You understand what I'm saying? Those are the things that you need to be thinking about. You understand?
Yes.
If Ket Matlala was involving his wife or his girlfriend so much in his business, why wouldn't Senzo Mchunu do the same? You understand what I'm saying? Why will not give our Nigerian brother bail? Give him bail. EFF, come on, help your brother out there. Give him bail. Let him start talking to us. Maybe some pillow talk can help us there. You know what I mean? Those are the things you need to untie. You need to untie all those things.
Okay. I wanted us to talk about branding. I wanted to focus on you rebranding. But I see you are very passionate about what is happening. Let me allow you to speak about
but it's part of the branding.
Okay.
It's part of the branding. It's like Nota always talks about the things that we're not seeing. We all watched the thing, Magic. We watched Sizwe Mpofu Walsh. We watched all these other guys, but they are not speaking about the things that Nota is noticing. And the things that Nota is noticing are so obvious when you actually look at it. It's like they must be deliberately ignoring the things that Nota is noticing, which means they're deliberately misleading us or leading us down the wrong path. It's a red herring. The things that they're making important. You watch Season Mpofu Walsh, hey, these are the big revelations. And you watch those revelations and then I'm like, no, those aren't the big revelations. Those aren't the big revelations. You know what I mean? You're tiptoeing around the revelations. And there's an acceptance that, yes, I am. That's why there's let's call Keenan's father for an interview. And unfortunately, you can't lie to Keenan's father because you got a real relationship with him. So even if the agenda is not agending, you have to allow the man, you've got a real relationship with him. If he calls and he asks you, let me speak about these things. Let me defend Keenan. You have to allow him, right? But even then, you're not defending Keenan. You're not saying I know that man. And I know, yes, he may do this and that. But Mina, from the man I know, he's incapable of killing someone. Is it so wrong to say that?
No.
And if you guys have evidence that proves that he's capable of killing someone and you can show it to me, I will take back my words. But from what I've seen and what I know and where I stand right now, he may be many things, but a killer not.
Okay, what you're saying, let me say it in my own way. I normally say in my other channel, SA Infotainment Podcast, I normally say we chose to listen to Mkhwanazi and believe Mkhwanazi not because he's an angel. We know he's got mistakes, but we still choose. We chose to believe Dumsani Khumalo not because he's an angel, but we still choose. Even though he's still undergoing his trial, but we still choose Dumsani Khumalo anyway. No matter what you say on the other side, we still choose Mkhwanazi. We still choose. Even when the media says there's no evidence, we still choose Mkhwanazi. Keep your opinion about him. We'll keep ours. We are cool with Mkhwanazi.
That's it. What's wrong there? You understand? What's wrong if Keenan's father will say, I do not believe my son killed Tembe's daughter? Will he say, oh no, he's a father? Of course he's going to say that. No, but that's what he believes. You who refute that, bring irrefutable evidence proving him wrong. Bring that. Failing which?
We are left with no choice but to believe this one.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's where I stand, in that regard. And for me, it's very shocking because I think to myself, if I'm not here to speak for myself, will the people that I know and love deny me? Will it be Judas? You understand what I'm saying? Will they deny me? Will they deny that I was good to them when I'm not here to say, I was good to you? I've seen that if I was not here to say I was good to you, many people would deny that I was good to them. They'd call me the devil. I'd be not here to speak for myself. You understand what I'm saying? So that's another thing, is that you need to be alive to be here to build your brand.
What does it mean to be alive in this sense?
You need to be able to speak for yourself. And if you cannot speak for yourself, you need to have work that speaks for you. That stands the testament. That stands the test of time. You understand? So that's the brand. That's the brand. Let's bring it back to music.
I'm gonna bring it back, but before you bring it back, before you tie it down, you spoke about Khumalo back. I said no. Wait, pause. We'll come back to Khumalo. You were saying something about Khumalo. This is the chance. You spoke about the way this guy he's showing signs of a guy that is prepared. The way he goes about everything. In fact, I fully concur. Yo,
Competence.
You were speaking about competency.
Why?
I want us to explore that.
Why?
I want us to
Because it's black. That's why he's so competent. Unfortunately, as a black person, you are seen as incompetent from the get-go. So we are always driven, if we want to find ourselves in those high positions, to be more competent than any white person can ever dare to be. Why? Because we have to be better than. We have to come there with master's degrees and PhDs just to compete with white boys that have matric. That's why when you see a black woman in a position that's high up, you know that she must be competent. She must be competent.
The other way, but one will also propose the other way and say, it's also possible to climb the ladder through being there at the table. It's also possible.
In a space where there's a chance for a lot of women to get up there. If there's a chance for only one woman to be there, like let's say to be a TV presenter, to be the presenter of Live Amp.
Okay.
There's only one or two. There's one male presenter, one female presenter.
Yes.
You understand? That's where you can sleep your way to the top. But in a position where we have to graduate university, we have to now, there's a cohort of us, it's very difficult to sleep your way to the top in that. That's why you see so many high up women that look ugly. It's very difficult to sleep your way up to that level. You need to be super competent. And out of those women that are there, the competition amongst the competent women is very high. So they will take each other out. If the one competent woman hears that there's a woman that's in a CA position that's now being propelled to CFO because she's sleeping with the CEO, she'll take her out. That thing of that CEO that was sleeping with his HR lady, that was not a coincidence. They were not caught by accident.
What do you mean?
It's competitive. Someone's competing with that CEO for his CEO position. They find out that he's sleeping with his HR lady who's deciding to hire the girls that will now cover him up. All of those girls that were hired by that HR lady, they can get promotions now. They've got a new boss that's not going to try to sleep with them. The incentives are there for them to expose.
Oh, okay. I see. Now let's go back to Khumalo. Okay, when you were talking about Khumalo, you spoke about Khumalo in the. You were trying to make Khumalo as an example
of competence.
Yes. And you were tying that competence back to the music industry. Let's go back and look at Khumalo, how he does things. And then we'll come back to the issue of competence. We can highlight the competency by just simply looking at how Khumalo is doing his things.
Well, I mean, even when he's explaining his things, he makes it easy for everyone to understand. It's not confusing. You understand?
I've noted that.
That's competence. Competence is you being able to explain. That's why I love talking to kids. Because it trains me. I need to make them understand in their own terms. I love talking to kids and teaching kids. Because it trains me on how to explain to kids. That's why a lot of my explanations, I explain so well. People say, you know what? Your explanations, you help us understand. Yes, because I practice with kids. My neighbor's kids. You know what I mean? My neighbor's kids will ask me lots of questions. They love it. And then this, and then this, and then I'll answer, and then I'll answer, and then I'll answer, and then I'll answer, and then I'll answer. Then I'm figuring out from the way they ask the questions, how to answer in a way that will make them understand and give them perspective at the same time.
So you are saying General Khumalo has that ability to explain something.
Then you understand its meaning. You understand what it means.
Yes,
you understand what's the meaning of this evidence. You understand if this dot is here and here, it's not about connecting the dot. It's about giving them meaning. Why is this dot here? Why does it align with this dot here? Why can their only position that the third dot be only here?
But
that's when you know their meaning. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
When you take the one input and you take the secondary input, and from making inferences between input A and B, you are able to then with certainty find input C. That's when you've got an equation.
Okay. Khumalo.
You're right? A plus B is equal to C, right?
Yabona Khumalo. Now I understand why they hate him. And I understand if I was in their position, I'll also hate him. That guy he looks like a guy when he says, I'm going to deal with you. I'll make it example. He must be afraid. Because he's not just going to show up being driven by his emotions. He's going to be driven by logic.
No, he's meticulous. He's very competent, very highly competent, much more competent than Mkhwanazi. In fact, Mkhwanazi is one of the least competent out of all those guys. Like, he's good with technical force stuff and all those things, jumping in, right? And he's a very confident speaker. So he's able to marshal teams and, motivate them and get them on board.
Let me ask you a question.
But as far as him doing his work by himself, like as a man, he's not a machine. Khumalo is a machine.
Okay, I get it. Let me ask you a question.
Well, he could be a killing machine, but that's a different kind of machine.
Okay, I'm going somewhere with that. If you're looking at that team, let's assume there's Masimila in one team, Khumalo in one team, Mkhwanazi in one team. Then the guys who are behind the scenes, like witness A, witness B, we don't get to see them. But when you listen to them, you're like, oh, okay, I see. I see this train. You understand? All these other people that are coming to testify, the ones we see, the ones we don't see. I'm worried about the people that are silent, the ones that we don't know about. We will sometimes, I don't think we'll ever hear about them. I'm looking at this. The reason I'm saying I'm worried about them is because I feel like those are the most dangerous people, the ones that we will never get to hear them. Why I'm saying I'm looking at them and I'm like, yeah, here there's intelligence. One, there's something that I've seen generally. You will find a person who like, but you Nota ufunani la, because Nota doesn't belong here. And then they take Bongan and place Bongan here, like, Bongan ufunan la, because Bongan doesn't belong here. Rather, Nota belongs here and Bongan belongs here. Hear me out. But in this case, these people, they understood that no, Mkhwanazi doesn't belong here. Mkhwanazi belongs here. Khumalo doesn't belong here. Khumalo belongs here. When you're looking at the team, you're like, yeah, like when you understand everyone's role, you're like, it suits their personality. It means someone must have sat and said, no, Mkhwanazi, I want you here. This is your role. Khumalo, I want you here. This is your role. You excel here. That's the person I'm afraid of. Or the team. Those are people I'm afraid of. I don't know if you have noticed that. When you're looking at them, you're like, it makes sense why Mkhwanazi must be the front guy.
Well, we'd have to look at the 2010 tender scandal. That's where we'll know it from. Because that's where everything actually formulated.
Okay.
That's when they'd all come back from. All the highest level of training for the SAPS happened before 2010.
Okay.
Right? Anti-terrorism training, all this stuff. So that's where they got graded.
Okay.
You understand? And it was a whole entire institution-wide, even down to police reservists, everything from top down. So that created the different divisions. And from that point onwards, you need to look at who ended up where and who they are working with for you to decide who are the different factions within the police. 2010 is the central point. It's after 2007. Because 2007, new administration, whatever, new thing, but they didn't have a new mandate properly. They weren't trained on new policing methods. The new policing methods that they're using right now are everything that they were trained with since 2010. The manuals, who are the instructors. Do you understand? All those things. Those are the people that are grooming the new policemen. That are identifying them and watching them. And they've been observing them for over 15 years now. You must remember that after that whole entire period, it took only 2 years for Mkhwanazi to be identified as someone who's possible. He was highly recommended. He was headhunted to be a temporary commissioner while they were sorting out the scandal that Bheki Cele got into with buying, using slush fund money to buy properties.
Yes.
You remember, he's the one that started this property buying thing. So he should know about free accommodation and unfree accommodation. You know what I mean? That's why he's taking advantage of free accommodation, because the last time he bought property, he lost his job. You know what I mean? That was the last day as a policeman.
Okay.
He came back to the police force as a police minister. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Someone who's got institutional knowledge, operational knowledge, when they come back, they can only come back to do what? Why does a criminal come back to the scene of the crime? You understand what I'm saying? Out of that entire revolving door, everyone who left, Pahlane, Pierre, you name it, everyone went. Ketla Sitole, you name them. Everyone who was...
Can you swing the mic straight to your mic?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone who left one way. There's only one person who had a revolving door, kept coming back. To the point where he's still there even now. Even now, he was talking to Matlala in January. Before his arrest.
Okay, I see where you're saying.
You understand? Yeah. Matlala who got the tender while he was?
A minister.
You understand what I'm saying? And the all that committee was hired by him. And then the lady that adjudicated that ended up working for Medic 24 while he was still a minister. You understand? Because that thing was awarded in June. He only became on the 5th of July, right?
Okay. There's something that I've noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was trying to figure out, Mkhwanazi became a household name.
Mm-hmm.
The branding. I started doing videos about Mkhwanazi way before Mkhwanazi, before the July 6th, way before that. And I will tell you this as a YouTuber. If you go to my channel, SA Infotainment Podcast, you will notice I started speaking about Mkhwanazi this. And
because obviously there was lots of things. There was the taxi things. Remember, there was those things that he had brought peace to the taxis.
I'm trying to understand from a branding perspective. Was it intentional? Somebody was working behind the scene to popularize the name, or it just happens natural? Because we spoke about him. I do this, for instance. I test things on YouTube. Sometimes I just say this video is about testing something. I'll put your name and talk about you and look at the reaction from the people and read the comments.
Yeah, some people are not charismatic. So the other commissioners are not charismatic. They appear on TV as well. Whenever there's a protest and everything else, the Gauteng commissioner appears as well. What does he say? -1 problem or whatever. Whoever, -1 problem. Okay, that's funny, right? That's funny one time. You keep doing that again, you're not saying anything. You're not saying anything of substance. Mkhwanazi engages with the community. He speaks to the taxi owners, tells them, listen, we cannot have a problem where I am feeling like I am unable to control the situation around here. Because if I'm unable to control the situation, I will bring in force. And I'm the one who's got the monopoly on force. You cannot use force. You are civilians. So we cannot have a situation where I've got a monopoly on force and then I'm bringing it upon you as civilians because you won't be able to defend yourselves. Did you hear what he said to those taxi owners? That's what he said.
To those who doesn't understand, there was a video of General Mkhwanazi where he was telling taxi owners that, guys, nifuni impi noma yini. Before he gets to that, he's trying to talk to them and say, you guys, you use your taxis, you send people. When I'm dealing with them, they tell me, no, we were sent by so-and-so. And that problem keeps coming again and again. What do you want from me? Because I'm trying to communicate with you, but you guys are not helping me. What do you want? Do you want force? I will bring it. And they were like, no. Just to remind you the video.
That's exactly what happened. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's the charisma of Mkhwanazi. You don't see any of they deal with the same thing. Right now, they were burying another Alexandra taxi boss, right? So the Gauteng police chief deals with the taxi murders all the time. They burned someone at Maponya Mall. That was a taxi association. There was protests, strikes about that. You know what I mean? So they deal with these things all the time. But why, when we see them on camera, we just don't gravitate towards them? They're not charismatic.
Yes. But that's exactly what I was trying to...
I think Mkhwanazi was a fan of Batman. He knows what the police commissioner's job is. And he knows that Harvey Dent, you know what I mean?
Oh, but make me understand. Because one will say, you can find a charismatic person, you understand, somewhere. But the person doesn't do well from a media's perspective, such that we don't get to talk about that person on a social media level. Where we, for instance, on a social media, we spoke about Mkhwanazi such that even the mainstream media, even if they wanted to ignore him, they can't because we speak about him. TikTok, Facebook, YouTube.
People are called Mkhwanazi.
Exactly. There's even Twitter accounts wanting to use his name. You know what I'm saying? Some of us will call him Mkhwanazi boys. I know you, General. I know you. Let me keep quiet. Talk about the General who calls me Mkhwanazi boy, the one who was angry. But it's fine. I'm saying, do you think it was just natural that somehow that guy got branded and became the person he became?
No.
Or it was just people working towards
He's anointed, right? But he was also appointed. There's a reason why everything he did it in record time. He was the youngest guy to be propelled here. He was showing his level of competence at a very young age as a natural. Do you understand what I'm saying?
The word competence now you have not only used you have not only used in describing Khumalo, you used that very same word in describing Mkhwanazi now.
That's the level of confidence. All their confidence comes from their competence. You know what I mean? They are competent in certain fields. Like I said, Khumalo, in his level of competency, he's got full competency. Mkhwanazi doesn't have the same capabilities that Khumalo has, but he's got full competency where he does have his capabilities.
He tells
you understand?
Mkhwanazi will tell you. Even said it with Adams. Adams, if Adams wants me to deal with him, the court route, it's fine. But if you want, we can meet in the field. And I'm prepared to die. That guy said those words many times. I'm prepared to die.
What was he trying to say to you? Is that you think this Adams guy is a parliamentarian? This guy is busy arresting crime intelligence bosses, stopping them from preventing the crimes that are about to happen to you, taxpayer.
Wait, please say that again.
Yes. This guy is trying to get bosses of crime intelligence arrested. Fadil Adams. He's the one that brought this case to IDAC. To the point where they had to even chase him out. You understand? For what? What was that? Why are you chasing him out? Because you can watch it on YouTube. Him being in the room, what is he going to do? Because he's not even part of the committee. He's not even speaking. You know what I mean? So, that's what Mkhwanazi was trying to say, is that you guys see this guy as a parliamentarian, whatever. This guy has been sent here to do the dirty work of these underworld bosses. That's how they've infiltrated the system. They're even sending people in here. You guys are voting, thinking you're voting for people who are making change. And no, you're voting for people who are coming in just to protect criminals. It's that bad. It's not even coming in just to get rich. No, it's to actually protect criminals.
Okay. Let me get my answers now. I get this. You are talking about something that people can relate to so that you can now make them understand something else. Let's talk about branding. How did you brand yourself? From the moment where you were, we saw you.
I was consistent and honest. That's how I branded myself. That's the thing, that I was consistent and honest and reliable. Simple thing. Consistency and reliability. You know what I mean? And transparency.
Okay.
Those are the things.
Were you intentional about creating a story that can sell till today?
No. I knew that my life is amazing. I'm keenly aware of the things that I do and the things that I'm involved in. And I knew that at any point in time, if anyone gets to understand the things that I'm involved in, I know that they're amazing. Like I do historic things. Sometimes I'm sitting there thinking, damn, this is historic. This is so amazing. You know what I mean? This is like, wow. If only the world could see what I'm doing right now. You know what I mean? So I know that that's happening. And then me just talking about the things that I do, I know that those are amazing things. You know what I mean? And it's just honest. And I've got lots of experience and, I've got competence in that level. So I've got a certain level of understanding that certain people don't get exposed to, So the rich people, they get exposed to it easily. Okay, because they got influence, they got money, they'll get exposed to the people that control how things work. The rest of us, we have to make our way in there. It's either we get there on riches or smarts. How we get there on smarts is that we become useful to the rich people and then they use our brains so that they can, steal more from everybody else that's poor and suffering. And fortunately for me, I was one of those people that could be used with brains that gave me access. But those brains didn't come from, brains that don't know what they're doing. So for me, everything that I've done or that I'm doing or that I do has been programmed into me since I was a child. You understand what I'm saying? So it just comes naturally. I know what to do. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, let's say you gave me an AK-47 and I've never touched an AK-47 before, I'd be able to assemble it and disassemble it without knowing how I'm able to do it.
Speaking about it.
You understand what I'm saying? Not speaking about it.
No.
As in, I'd be able to put the AK-47 in your car, everything, put all the pieces right, in order, and put it back together again. You know what I mean? Clean. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Without ever having touched it before. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I hear you.
So since I was a child, it's like whatever I need to be able to do has been programmed into me. You know what I mean? That's what keeps me alive.
Who programmed it?
Hey, yeah. I don't know, because I've been observed by lots of people that even to this day I can't remember. But yeah, I was watching Candace Owens and she said something and I was like, that's so funny that she said that. But we get groomed. So there's psychometric tests that they make kids take, like certain kids, like if they're high potential kids and everything else. And then once you start getting on those programs, like I've always told people that, I used to take these IQ tests and everything else from the age of 4 and everything. Once you're on that program, they start monitoring you. You're monitored for the rest of your life.
Who's monitoring you?
The people that need to know who are these kids that, are performing at this level. And they monitor every single one of them. That's why there's things like Olympiads and all those things. That's how they catch the ones that they missed out on in early childhood development. So, like.
Wait. Am I missing something here?
What?
Wait, I just woken up. Sorry, guys. Basically, what you are saying. You said something very interesting. I'm not going to go into it. You're speaking about people that monitor you from an early age. But equally, those same people will then create competition just to catch up. Find
the ones that they missed, yes.
Exactly. What will be the intention of doing that?
To identify them.
Then after identifying them,
they bring them in. And think about who are the companies that do all these things. It's usually mining companies. It's so strange, eh? All these things are mining. Why is it only the mining companies that want to see all the geniuses of the country? You understand? Those are the companies that control the country.
Once you have been identified,
you get tracked. You understand? Like I said, I was first featured in the newspaper at 8 years old. Isn't that part of being identified? I'm being in the newspaper talking about, I'm an 8-year-old smart kid. Why must my name be in a newspaper at 8 years old? What have I done with my life? You know what I mean?
This thing sounds scary. I once heard a story,
Yeah.
about donating blood.
Yeah.
That when you donate blood,
Yeah.
there are tests that gets taken out of you.
Yes.
Somebody was saying, you don't know how far those things they can go.
That's
You
true.
don't know whom it can get or land. It can land in somebody's desk.
Yeah, well, you also test at Discovery when you get your life insurance and all those things. So yes,
So that somebody was saying
you don't need to donate blood.
such information. We don't know who gets hold of it. We don't know. A person can say, "I'm a millionaire, I'm a multimillionaire, I'm a billionaire. I'm looking for a specific thing in a human being." I'll make an example. Then somebody was saying it will be easier for that person to track everything done and say, okay, out of these people, since I'm looking for a kidney, out of these people on the database, who's most likely to get, who is most likely to give me something that is aligned to me? And somebody was saying it will be easier for them to pay the money to say, we need this person. This person wouldn't give us what we want willingly. We need that person. And somebody was saying, it could be. That's how we have people disappearing, not knowing where they are. It could be, not that it is, but
we follow them. You understand what I'm saying? It's just like when the top performers in Matric get announced, they're all there. They're not finding out on the day that they're the top performer. They get called days before because already your performance is being tracked. It's continuous assessment the whole entire time. So you're being tracked. The schooling system tracks you. Everything is tracking you. So that's how they're able to identify. At school alone, they've got 12 years to find you guys. They've got 12 years to find you at school. And then after that, they place you in their universities and they compete for you. There's some people who are accepted in more than one university. You understand what I'm saying? And the universities give them different offers. Oh, we'll offer a residency, what. And no, I don't want to go to Stellenbosch. It's so far. I'd rather go to UCT. It's like, yeah, but there's, you know what I mean?
You know what? You're reminding me something. As you see me thinking here, take everything that I said previously with a pinch of salt and use the word allegedly, but listen to this one. I spoke to people in serious places. I'm talking about people who works for intelligence serious places. People who develop systems. People who say to me, if you were to understand how much money is spent in tracking you. One individual once said to me, unknowingly that somebody had told me that. One person once said to me, do you know why you will deposit money? You will have your habits in terms of your banking system. One day, a serious amount of money gets into your bank account and suddenly it's frozen. That person says to me, why do you think that thing happens? And then somebody says, because I worked in that department where we track every single thing that you do. We will say, this behavior is unlike you. Where did you get this? We want to know. So I had people telling me that everything you do, somebody knows your behavior. Somebody knows even the things we are most likely to qualify for.
Especially when you're a target.
And it makes sense why we're getting all these calls. People will tell you, you've been applying, you were declined here, we can help you. You're like, how did you know? Or you got a car, the next call you get, no, we can offer you a better insurance. Because you've got a car, you're like, how did you know?
Your data is being tracked.
Exactly my point.
So crime intelligence is watching you. And to the point they can't even admit how they're watching you. So right now, you've got a 5G phone, I've got a 5G phone.
Yes.
The 5G signal, right, is so that these two phones can map, just by pinging, can map the entire room in 3D. So basically, a person can create an image with your face, everything, can create a composite image using the data of these phones just pinging in this room. Our movements, everything else. Even track out sonic signatures so they can even hear the sound. And just that's from the vibrations.